Hi there, and hello, everybody in the universe. Aliens, friends, fans, followers, community members. We are thrilled about your wholeness, and we are thrilled about you doing your wholeness in your way today. And for the next hour or so, you're going to see Tara Paolo Studio and I in our wholeness discussing and deconstructing elements of our week. This started as a private conversation, and then we moved it publicly because we think that there's a power in you seeing us say the quiet things out loud. We are part of, well, first of all, I should tell you who I am. I'm Dr. Flo. I'm usually talking about things that I've not heard, but things that I know. Things like the fact that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. And no one can change that. And how you relate to your loved and lovable nature today is going to influence the inner picture and the outer picturing of your entire life. And in our network, Love and Action Network, we encourage, equip, and empower bold dreamers to follow their bliss every day by using their time, talent, and treasure for good in the world and love in the world. And one of our chief architects here every week for what's going on 100 weeks strong in our Substack publications, which this is a part of, has been the lovely and talented and flirted with Sarah Paolo Studio. Who are you today, beloved?
Hello, puppets. I am Tara Prado. I am your resident Black, biracial, multi-passionate musician. I talk about the issue nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. I am so many things, and I am so excited to be a part of Love and Action Network, and so excited to continue to share it. Dr. Flo was talking about empowering boldness on his TikTok this morning, boldness within himself and boldness within the community and boldness in the world beyond. Um, and I love that we do this particular taping on Thursdays as part of Throat Chakra Day and the I speak nature of that chakra. And um, I've really been pondering for the last, I would say, couple weeks about the way in which I segment certain things. And I was just thinking about it because I just did it. I went to WhatsApp, I shared it into Liberation Conversations instead of sharing it into TPS comments, as if the people that aren't in Liberation Conversations would not be interested in Deconstruction Junction, even though the other people that are in that chat are people that should and could be deconstructing right alongside us, and have the conversation. So it's just an interesting thought about how open, right? We've been obsessed with segmentation for years, because it feels like we need to be specific, but perhaps we don't. And to be continued in that conversation and our business and dream peer support, perhaps this afternoon, that's a great topic. And if you are interested in coming on camera with us and using your voice, you are more than welcome to add yourself to the Your Name Here in the box there. You can do that by visiting lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. You can either live chat us, come into the WhatsApp community, or you can text Dr. Flo directly, or you can email us. We would be happy to have a vibe check with you and have a conversation about where we think you may fit best on the podcast. And if that's Deconstruction Junction or Daily Boost or a separate product altogether. But we would love to expand the conversation. And if you are here with us now, whether that's in the replay or literally live, feel free to comment and let us know that you're here and be a part of the conversation in that way. And I believe I am first up again.
Yeah, I just want to jump in and say that we love having conversations with interested and interesting people. And that's more people than we think. People who are interested in the work of love and community and support and peer support that we're building. One of the greatest joys of my life has been relaunching and reimagining our peer support program. Something happened a few months ago where I decided and made a commitment towards calling the work that I do, especially the free and donation-based work that I do, calling it peer support, eyeball to eyeball, mutual support and upliftment. man, oh man, has it been great to be able to feel that support and be supported daily in this network. It's making a radical transformation in my life. And all we can do is invite you into it and then have fun at our party on your way inside. And so, once again, if you're out there and you're wanting a place where you can be yourself, but also grow your personal dreams in community and a loved and lovable vibration, step on in. My phone number is 404-585-1278. That's 404-585-1278. Operators are standing by. Oh, there's my husband. Um, who's on you have your baby. The baby's on
I
your
have the baby. I can't show y'all publicly because
yeah.
I don't show my baby's face publicly as much as possible. So if you're interested in that, you would actually have to have a conversation with me, and we would have to grow a relationship before I let you see my baby. But if you are out there and we do have a relationship, and you're like, I want to see more of the baby, like I hear the baby on Clubhouse and in the social audio spaces, but I want to see the baby, and I trust you, you're more than welcome to friend request me on Facebook, and I will approve you so you can see the baby, or come find me on Snapchat. I'm Tara Prilo. No, I'm not Tara Prilo Studio, but I should change my handle over there. I think it's TP Laugh 4. I think this is my handle on Snapchat, but I should change that because that's not accurate.
And
Anyway,
I think that your Snapchat ministry, I'm still a fan of the Snapchat ministry. I think that deconstruction conversations and little rendezvous and little behind the scenes chats will be really, really good for your personal Snapchat ministry because we've been really trying to work together, front of house and back of house, on how can we not get stressed out and give so much time to the work while also doing our work. We're all busy. We all have multiple focuses. We all have families to tend to. We all have jobs to tend to. We all have missions to tend to. And so we've been really curious in our mastermind program about how can I get more juice out of life without stressing myself out on time. And Tara really likes Snapchat. I really like Snapchat too. I've got a whole super fan
I like the
closed chat.
Snapchat filters. Um,
Yeah.
but I may need a tutorial at some point, maybe during the business and peer support. There's something that I can't figure out on Snapchat, and there was one other thing that I couldn't figure out the other day on a different platform that I don't remember now. But anyway, I'll ask you there, and so you can see Dr. Flo making a behind the scenes Snapchat, um, and he's going to post that to his Snappy chat. All right, let's dig into it, shall we?
Yeah, super easy way to connect with people and to stay in your own race. And the private stories over there are just something else. And I just sent that to all of my super fans so they can see what I'm doing with my day and know that I'm alive and well and loved and lovable. And that's a way in which, like, for like 30 seconds, I'm able to connect with the people that want to connect with me without feeling like I'm overwhelmed. And
Sorry,
what happened?
I touched my mic like that, and I didn't know if it like big banged out into the world.
It's all good. The first topic's on you today. What a story.
Yeah, okay. So, y'all, I really I am bringing something later that is a little bit more positive, but my first two are not particularly positive. Um, but and we're going to get to this. But Dr. Ian Roberts, let me tell you who this man is. He was the superintendent of the largest school district in Iowa, Des Moines Public Schools, which has 30,000 children attending, and he was taken by ICE last Friday. And this case has just gotten more and 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 more like red flags. And actually, so the day after something, I saw an article that was like, it was the propaganda that ICE pushed out, right? Which was like, this man never actually got his doctorate. He had like a gun charge against him, da 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 da. And I was like, what you doing, dude? Like, what you doing that? But then I realized as I was scrolling again, I was like, wait now, like these people have to pass background checks and to be like the superintendent, like you got to go through some shit to get to that level, you know? And so
Lots
like
of scrutiny.
ludicrous that like every system would fail at every level And he's been a superintendent in multiple states, y'all. Multiple states. Like I'm not he this is not his first time being a superintendent. He was superintendent in Maryland. He was superintendent somewhere else. His doctorate, like anyway, so then people
White
started
people do not allow you to teach their kids without putting you through the ringer.
yeah. So then there were of course articles and proof that he has done these things and he has been cleared. And in fact, there was an immigration case that was open, but it was closed in 2024 by a judge, right? And and then he confirmed this in April of 2025. And ICE disappeared all of that information and took him, right? And now has and he's been at county jails. However, they have not put his none of it is in the public. We cannot track this man. We do not know where this man is at this moment. No one knows because ICE is disappearing him and moving him rapidly, and like his, people are trying to like get to him, and they cannot. And in fact, when ICE first took him, the St. Paul ICE office, which I didn't even know we had an ICE office here, if I'm going to be honest with you, I hope it's getting picketed every single day because what are you doing here? Get out. Anywho, um, they tried to call the Des Moines ICE office and the other ICE offices in the Midwest, and nobody would answer. Nobody had an answer for where this man was or why he was taken. Okay. Um, Now, the other part of this that you need to know before I read this thread, which I think also says more, is that Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, is a piece of work of a white woman. Okay. She a bitch. She just, she a problem. And she's big mad because this man tried to make the school district safe and equitable for all children, right? Because newsflash, Des Moines is actually a large city, not large, medium. There's black people there, and brown people, and LGBTQIA plus people, but they don't want you to know that. But Dr. Ian Roberts, he wanted them to be safe. So that's what this is all about. So now I'll read this thread. If I can have it beg, thank you. It says that the Iowa Board of Educational Examiners revoked Dr. Ian Roberts' license and replaced him with a white guy, Matt Smith. Let me be clear: you can't pass FBI checks, state checks, and school board checks, submit all your paperwork, and then be labeled illegal. It does not add up. Do not believe their lies. Y'all, this whole situation is a blatant attack on an influential black man who dared to stand up to ICE and Trump. This is about racism and power plays, plain and simple. And so the last part of this that you all need to know is that Dr. Ian Roberts refused to allow ICE to be on any school campus uh, in his district. And so this is direct retaliation from that. And so just be aware of all of the propaganda that's going on. Keep making calls, keep doing what you can, keep picketing, because this man is literally being disappeared. And the response they want is for us to be fearful and put our heads down. And we're not going to be fearful and put our heads down. We're going to try to keep track of this black man as much as we can, and we're not going to let anybody tell us that his doctorate isn't real, because he does have a paper, like the college confirmed it. The college confirmed it. So like, don't let them do this stuff, and don't, like, just know that there are people out here telling the truth, and it's not the governmental body that was created 20 years ago. Okay.
It's about kidnapping U.S. citizens for me. It's about like how they're trying to create a propaganda of fear that would make us feel that any of us could get snatched. If they're snatching a doctor, if they're snatching a black man doctor, then
Right.
who
Well,
am
and then
I? You know,
did you see the stuff today in Chicago about ICE? Like I like barely read the thread, but I think it was at a school in Chicago, and they put a bunch of black kids in handcuffs. Um, tracks for ICE, right?
they love to try to make a public example of our black asses, our
Yeah,
Afro Indigenous asses. They like I'm Dr. Flo, right? So if they did it to Dr. Ian, they certainly would do it to Dr. Flo,
right.
right? And then they want you to live your whole life just whispering. They're trying to subjugate and diminish people that look like him. He's sexy as fuck,
And was an
well dressed.
Olympic athlete. Hello, hello.
that nose, that chin structure, that salt and pepper, like these motherfuckers are jealous. And they did the same thing when I was working in New York. Black Lives Matter. They would take trans people and just put them in a cell so that people would stand outside and go, "Give us our friend back! Give us our friend back!" I'm glad that there are advocates watching him and looking out for him and doing watches for him. We will get this man back, and he's going to make a lot of money off of your stupid asses.
Yeah, the NAACP has already picked up his case. So if you're interested in that, I can't remember which chapter of the NAACP it is, but I think it's Iowa. It might be the Omaha one. But anyway, um, there's a black lady running it. So, you know, black women, they got us for the most part.
Yeah,
Some skin, some people
I'm a bit distrustful of the NAACP as well because all skin folks are not kin
not
folks.
folks. Right, right,
All skin
right.
folks are not kin folks. All kin folks are not skin folks. So I trust them as well as far as I can throw them. What I love about this is that we're talking about it. Advocates around the world are talking about it. Their eyes on this black man's body, and that's what all black men need, myself
Right.
included. A community of supporters who say, "Look, you may not care about these individuals, but we do. And they'll be hell to pay if something awful happens to Dr. N and any other of our beloved community members. You may
Right.
not care. You may be trying to scare us, but we care." Also, they want us to be afraid of our own existence. That gentleman in that post that I put on my feed says that everybody 18 and under in this country is going to live in a world that's more diversified and very much black and brown and Afro Indigenous, and they are terrified. And so, if they can do a psyop, because let's be very clear, there's a thing called psychological operations, just like the aliens and the UFOs. Remember the UFOs last year or earlier in the year where they're like, the UFOs off the coast of Jersey, da da da. These are all psychological operations that are trying to uh, implant ideas in us of not belonging to the society that we're in. Listen up, whiteys. It's not working. I'm not marching in the streets. I'm not putting my life on the line. I'm not getting involved in no race riot. I'm not putting a pussy hat on my head. I'm gonna watch you right
You want to
here,
wear a blue bracelet though?
or a little pin, some other liberal bullshit.
What about a bouncy castle? We do a bouncy
And they
castle.
and they don't even care about. We didn't talk about this on this podcast. They don't even talk. They don't even care about white people who are liberators as well. You saw what happened to the Ben and Jerry's guy.
Right, Jerry quit because
Took
Ben. I don't know if Ben's MAGA or something, but something happened. Something
No,
happened.
what happened was they stole their formula. A company under them stole their formula and continued to sell the ice creams in Israel, even though they said they didn't want it there.
Oh, yuck.
They said we do not want our ice cream sold and isn't real because they are perpetrators of genocide. And what did they do? They stole the formula, made the ice cream anyway, and then sold it to genocidal maniacs. We will not be afraid. We will not walk in fear. Ice better not touch a hair on my head or the hairs on the heads of anybody I love because they may not go home to their people. What did Poppy Water say on the video? You may not care about yours, but I definitely care about mine.
Right, right.
All right, back to threads we go. We love this segment that I've introduced, and it's pretty much my only segment that I do here these days. Tara says, "Do I know any voice?"
Is there a typo?
I think you were meaning to say, "Do you know?" But it says, "Do I know any voice teachers near St. Croix, Wisconsin?"
Yes,
WI.
yes.
Got a country pop student looking for a teacher. So could you riff on that before I hit the Vegas
Yeah,
roulette button for the threads?
essentially somebody found an old post of mine on Facebook in a Facebook group, and they know I'm a teacher, and they said, I'm too far from you, but I'm in this area. I have a country and pop band, but I want to get my voice better, and so I'm just looking for anybody that I know, which is near me. So um, hopefully I know someone, but I can't think of who's over in that area. So if that's you, let me know.
This is why we also want to build larger networks so that we can have referral systems and stuff like that, and having
Yeah,
someone
I
in that
need
zip
to reach
code.
back out to Christina, who was going to help build a website for teacher referrals with me. And I
Yeah,
never
let her know
emailed
that you have a Broadway trained friend of a friend of a friend who's looking for students. Rhymes with slow.
I've never met him. And some guy.
Definitely rhymes with slow. Another one from Tara, who's heavy on my For You page. 6 weeks out, masterclass is the course I wish I had in college about creating and marketing your own opportunities and having the joyful mindset to keep going, even when the impact isn't quite seen by you yet. That's going to be on Friday tomorrow. You want to tell the people about 6 weeks out, your masterclass?
Yeah. So y'all, I built a spreadsheet last year that I was going to sell for Black Friday, and I never did. But I have a 6 week launch plan essentially for concerts, but it can be used for anything. And I'm going to teach about it in the mindset of getting yourself out there and producing. I think we all, many of us artists and creatives want to produce our own thing because we're tired of bowing down to the system, right? We're tired of bowing down to the system. However, we get into it, and this is what Dr. Flo and I have been talking about for ages, is like, okay, but then I have to do this, but then there's the yak hair, right? Then I have to promote myself. Then I have to feel good enough about myself and love myself enough to like talk about it on the internet, right? I gotta be joyful, and I gotta there's all this blah, 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 but I don't feel that way about myself, and maybe it's not good, and maybe it's not a good idea, and maybe my book isn't good.
What if they laugh at me? What if it doesn't
Yes,
grow? What if
yes.
I
What if nobody
sneeze on
likes my
camera?
post?
What if
What
I
if nobody
fart on
comes?
film? What if I
Yeah. What if
fart?
nobody comes? What if nobody like all of these things? We're going to talk about all of it on Friday. Like I said, I was going to sell it for Black Friday last year. I did not end up selling it, so now y'all get me teaching about it for free, and you will get the social media template um, on Friday. So yeah,
Let's do one more from the threads. I'm gonna hit the button and see what it comes up with. Oh, it did
me,
you again, but I'm gonna scroll
me
down the
again.
page.
Me
There's a quick
again.
note. Um, you're not middle class. You're one emergency away from being unhoused.
Agreed. We talk about that frequently on this platform. And and I was thinking, we were talking about it the other day in terms of like throwing dinner parties. We might have talked about this last week. I can't quite remember, but like I used to be able to throw a dinner party every week. It was an affordable thing for me to do, right? To have a couple people over to my house or five people over to my house and have a dinner party. And now I can't do that anymore because things are more expensive. And so the truth is that like if you're middle class, right? Middle class is like somewhere between 60,000 to 500,000 or something like that. That's lower middle class. Like you are really you're just one disaster away. And that's I don't want people to live in fear of that because you can come back from that, right? Like I actually saw this post and it was really quite I was like when I first read it I was like, "Oh," but I've thought about it multiple times over the past few months. There was this post in a mom's group that was like, "I have a lot of debt and I'm considering filing for bankruptcy." And there was like 100, 200 comments underneath about how great filing for bankruptcy was for these people, and that complete reset and like just taking off that shame spot of falling down and having to ask for help to get back up, right? And that's like you can come back from it. However, like this is where we're at. This is the society that they're trying to keep us in, and this is what we're fighting against every day, right?
Yeah, because being strapped for cash means that you have less community events. Less community creates social isolation, which capitalism seeks to serve by making you go further in debt. And so then you're in this circle of depression, trying to buy your way out of the hole you're in when community and communing with people who you love and having food, what's going to fix it? This is why we're going to do that lentils program because
And
I
pop
believe And I want to encourage you, now that we're talking about it, not to give you one more thing to do, but you could do a weekly lentil bar. The issue is that capitalism wants us to be fancy. So I used to have dinner parties once a month at my house too, and I had all of the best things and all of the best but $3 chuck and
Well, you know, I used
$2
to.
packages of lentils.
Do you know about this? This was before I met you. I used to host a backyard event called Bite, which was like bring your own music, and you do a sound bite you perform at the house, and like you bring a side for everybody, and I provide the meat. Like that was a thing that we used to do at my house. Um,
Come out wherever you are.
but you know what? That didn't actually create a yak hair situation in my person at that moment. It was just like, yeah, like come sing your diverse rep. Like that. Like if there was one thing that I could build for this community is come sing your diverse rep. You are allowed to sing anything, any style, any genre. We will have food and snacks, and people will wear masks. They're welcome to wear masks. Da 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 da. Um, I bet you
Yeah.
Elysian would make a deal with me.
I'll put the drumettes on the counter. You all bring the sides. Put one of those little floaty punch things with the ginger ale on top.
Well, and Elysian has a whole. They have a whole thing. They have a whole. It's already set up. So I just have to ask. Yeah.
We're gonna be
Okay.
the change.
Rest in power, Asada Shakur. Um. Yeah. I don't. I mean, beautiful, beautiful person. Like living your life in exile. I just can't. I can't even imagine that. I do think it's a good reminder. There were a lot of people talking about this after her death, which was, what truly, like, what are you willing to do for liberation, and what are you willing to risk? And some people that claim to be liberating are not, like, would not have done what she did, right? Um, Now, I do think that that's a slippery slope into like telling people how they have to be in order to be liberated, and I don't believe in that. We're not prescriptive in this network anymore, and I'm certainly not prescriptive in my practice. I can give you a lot of ways to achieve the same thing, and you can choose the one that works best for you. Um, and so I don't think that every revolutionary has to be like Asada, and I don't think that we all need to aspire to be like Asada. I think she had a powerful impact on this life, and on the next one, and on the generations that are coming, right? Um, but I don't think that we need to hold people to the standard of Asada to say that they are revolutionaries. I also don't think that everybody's a revolutionary. So there's that. I think everybody has the potential to be a revolutionary. I think it's a choice to be a revolutionary.
I also think that so-called white law enforcement agents and officers should leave brown people the fuck alone. If that white officer had left Asada and her comrades alone, he would still be alive. But because the law enforcement officers wanted to torment black and brown people, the ways that you all still sanction black and brown people to be tormented in this country to this day, y'all sit back in the high school of life and y'all go, I'm glad they're banging on my black and brown neighbor's door and leave. White people, white people are acutely aware that that is their protective force. I told you when I worked in New York City Black Lives Matter chapter as a marshal and protector of the um, advocates and protesters, that I watched a white man tell a white officer, that man hit my child, and pointed to me and expected me to be hauled off for that false accusation. They're very acutely aware that the property and their personage is protected by law enforcement. And they weaponize it against us all the time by saying, you want me to call the cops? I'll call the cops, because they assume that the cops are going to be on their side. If they left Asada alone, he would have gone home to his family. And they put even Obama, which we talked about last week, put a bounty on her head in the name of white capitalism in order to intimidate us as it relates to protecting ourselves. Not only did she get out of prison, but she went into asylum and exile in Cuba for the rest of her life. And I'm happy that she lived free and died free. She ain't the only one. And now y'all have to find out or figure out where else you want that $1 million to go. That was the bounty on her head that you're going to pay out. What about feeding Afro-Indigenous people who need to eat? Where's the Assata Shakur fund for housing and feeding black and brown people like her? Y'all want to talk about everything other than liberation. The madness stops here. Let's go back over to our little someone said either drop those GOP grinder accounts or shut the fuck up. Either drop. There's been a lot of talk online about all of the GOP Republican grinder accounts and how every time a Republican convention happens in any state, including Charlie Kirk's funeral, a grinder map, the man on man sexual encounters, the same sex attraction in this conservative religious group goes through the roof. And for weeks, they've been threatening to find these people and to out them. Okay. And I'm with that lady. I'm with Star Roque. STRR_ROCQUE. Either drop the grinder accounts or shut the fuck up. Because some of y'all really want to do liberation work and the rest of you want to threaten people. The reality priestess says money is attracted to abundance, but abundance is not attracted to money because it does not require it. One more time. Money is attracted to abundance, but abundance is not attracted to money because it does not require it. Also, happy Hoodoo Heritage Month. My partner was telling me about that this morning. To those of you who celebrate the African traditional religions, it is Hoodoo Heritage Month. And happy heritage to all of you who celebrate that. Very Gray says Hoodoo was and still is brilliant healthcare for people denied access to institutional medicine. Not demonic, indigenous as fuck. Our ancestors created decentralized systems of healing, protection, and power when the world told them that they deserved none. That ain't darkness. That's light working in spite of. That's really, really good. I'm going to quote this in real time. And I also need to send it to because Poppy Water says this all the time. My computer is slowing down on me. I don't know why. It could be me talking about the things that I talk about.
Are you
Yeah, my
plugged in?
computer.
Because yes, you're a little bit pixelated. Anything? Anything. Do, 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 do. We have hold music. Oh, uh-oh. Now you're really frozen. Do you want to restart? Please be patient, y'all. We are coming back online. Dr. Flo is going to be restarting the computer and will hopefully be back shortly. In the meantime, I will do a little commercial um, and let me just make sure we're like still live. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think we're still live. Hold on. Dr. Flo's calling me. Hold on. Okay, y'all, he is getting back online. Hopefully, we are still live. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a commercial break and let you know that we do have courses such as Unfuckwithable, and that's also a mastermind as well as the accountability group. So there's an October 2025 accountability group over in Google Classroom. I believe that is donation based, but I think it starts at like $25 or something like that. Um, you can find more of that information in the other courses that Dr. Flo teaches and the coaching that he offers, as well as done for you services at lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. You heard earlier a little bit about my masterclass tomorrow evening. I did just create a post last night for October in Tara Priolo's studio, and so here is what I am offering this month for free. I've got Freedom Fridays. I've got the Lift Every Voice Substack. I've got TPS Community Commons over in WhatsApp. And then I've got Pay What You Can, WhatsApp vocal coaching, Soliloquy, and I Dream a World, which are my albums. Social media management for members of the Global Majority, $25 an hour suggested. If you're not a member of the Global Majority, just come on by. I'm gonna have to go change a diaper. This baby is poopy. And then I also have my weekly and biweekly voice and piano lessons at $77 an hour. That usually equates to about $144 per month, which is rad. I got to make sure that I am paying attention to my phone as well. So I'm going to come out of Do Not Disturb. There we go. So, yeah. Those are the things that are happening around the network, as well as there's Dr. Flo, which is perfect timing because I do have to go change a diaper. This baby just pooped their pants while I was giving the commercial announcement. Once again, you can find all of that information and more at lovedandlovable.bio.link, 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 and you can join us at 11 a.m. Eastern Time daily on a social audio platform. Just know that we're moving around. Join the WhatsApp community to be in the know. Dr. Flo is starting back up.
That is going to be a monster to deal with in post production. Like, I tell you, like that's going to be something else, y'all. There is a difference in USB-C chargers and the amount of output that they can do in the world. And my computer said, we need more power for this kind of liberation. So you go to the poopy diaper, and I will take us through. Yes, she's gonna do poopy diaper, and I will take us through the rest of the threads reviews. The life of an MD says to anyone that ever said Project 2025 isn't real, it's not going to happen. Fuck you. We are currently living through the frameworks of Project 2025. This is their effort to restore a country to people who don't value everybody. And it is a problem, folks. Let's see what else they say over on threads. Stuart Dante C says, it's sad we live in a country so full of Bibles, but so empty of love. It's sad that we live in a country so full of Bibles, but so empty of love. Repost. Abigail Gianni says, the banks decline freely. So can you. The banks decline freely. So can you. 11 hours ago, Greta Thunberg has reportedly been arrested by Israel again and deported. After being forced out of the France airport, she revealed that many of her fellow activists are still being held there. Once again, folks, these are people who do not want to be loving. I don't understand what's going on with you all that you don't want to be loving. I think that's so weird. That we are missing love towards one another. This is cute. Learn how to write hello in Mandarin. For those of you listening back to the podcast, it's the word hello spelled in Mandarin oranges. Your nonsense says, do the work so you're not bait for chaos or busy creating it. Also, for those of you paying attention, a pair of Delta airline jets crashed on the taxiway at New York City's LaGuardia Airport Wednesday night, but miraculously, there was only one injury. That's not supposed to happen, folks. That's not supposed to happen. I'm a former flight attendant, and that's not supposed to happen at all. Less 4877 says, we were told we were crazy. We were told that he knew nothing about it. Here he admits Project 2025 is real and it's being implemented. The president says, I have a meeting today with Ross Voigt, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President DJT. A mess. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. It was a very stinky diaper, so I appreciate the moment to exit. And yeah, some people say that there's going to be more plane crashes because of the federal government shutdown, because like there's certain things that don't happen and aren't getting paid and like all that stuff. So that's fun.
And people who aren't getting paid, well, will actually make bad things happen on purpose to get back at you. You really shouldn't fuck around with the FAA. That's hundreds of people in the air, and planes could fall out of the sky at any time.
Beware. All right, Q4 and October affirmations. I just wanted to bring some positivity because everything else I talked about was a little bit down in the dumps. So I believe there is a Threads next, a Threads post next, maybe. Yeah, October will be filled with love. October will be filled with peace. October will be filled with healing. October will be filled with progress. October will be filled with blessings. October will be filled with happiness. October will be filled with opportunities. So that is some affirmations to take with us. There are many more that I've shared on Threads as well as in my Instagram stories. And I encourage you all to get on the level of gratitude, get in the frequency of gratitude and the frequency of joy.
we really do our best to put out into the world the things that we want back. Love and Action Network and Tara and I individually and collectively seek to make people's days brighter. And it pisses some people off, the fact that we do that, but it's an inside job. For me, it's selfish. It's like I could selfishly have a shitty day or I could have a good day depending on who I surround myself with and what I try to uplift. And what we uplift are those things that the post talked about. We uplift that love, that peace, that healing, that progress, the blessings, the happiness, the opportunities. Not only are we stepping into opportunities in our network, but we're also creating opportunities. And that may not make us better, but it certainly does make us different. All right, I think this is my last thread to riff, and hopefully the computer won't die this time. People are our greatest resource. One says, ignorance is so confusing.
Okay.
Bree Wu says, I just don't want to operate in misalignment anymore.
Well, that
What do you
sounds
think?
like a choice. Good thing you can make that choice for yourself.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what you would say about that.
That's it. Don't operate in misalignment anymore. Like, listen to yourself. Dr. Flo this morning on TikTok, I think he was crying because he kept repeating, be still and know, 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 be still and know. Like, listen to your inner self. In a program that I'm taking right now, there's some discussion of like bringing your inner voice outward, right? And we talked about that in Capital V Voice a couple weeks ago and last week and whatever the master class I taught was called that I can't remember now. Anyway, um, yeah, like if it, like that's just a choice. It's a choice to not be in misalignment. That's just a choice. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have choices about how we want to live our days and live our lives from the inside out, and making positive choices will reap positive results for us. That's a wonderful thing. Last one. Michelle C. Clark says, you're not difficult. You just stop pretending that your needs don't matter. You're not difficult. You just stop pretending that your needs don't matter. And we have a whole needs wheel on our resources page over at the Love and Action Network site. I would encourage you to go there and figure out what your needs are and then ask for those needs to be met. And don't stop asking until you find someone who wants to meet the need. The biggest lie that we've ever been told is that we're not worthy of having our needs met and that there aren't people on the planet who want to help us do the heavy lifting of our dreams. And
Dreams.
we help people lift their dreams in the network every day, and we will continue. And yeah, as soon as we're out of here, we're going to be going into a co-working session in the network and helping each other just lift and get through the emails and the outreach and connecting with the people and everything that we need to do in order to keep motivated on the path just for today. We're calling for ceasefire now in the lives of everyone on the planet, especially ourselves. And Tara has a slide.
Yeah, it's about the flotilla, which actually has made it to the shores of Gaza. But brave people from 50 countries, including Pakistan, with 44 boats, travel to Gaza with food under protection of warships of Turkey and Italy. I did see this morning. This is just a bit of that hope thing that I was talking about a few minutes ago. That the flotilla did make it. This particular flotilla made it. I will say that like it's not enough for a stage 5 famine, but it is something, and so we can do a little celebration for that. Don't do that, babe.
I think it's wild that they thought they were going to bomb these people off the face of the earth and starve them, and that we would sit around and not say anything about it because we were so high up in our capitalistic asses.
I mean,
Wrong is wrong.
look at what we did to Afghanistan and Iraq, and nary
Nuts.
one of them said something. You know.
We're doing something and we're saying something through our programs here in Love and Action Network, including the Adopt a Black Artist program, which I've had about 6 people respond that they want in on the program
Good.
today through last night's Threads promo. I'm excited to meet them and to help them in all the ways that we can. And hopefully they're ready for their change and ready to do the things in order to live their dreams. But we are here to encourage, equip, and empower all of you. Another extension of that is the Daily Peer Support Program. We are around every day at 11 a.m. local, 10 a.m. central, and throughout the day, running programs to support people and give them what they need in the areas of vocal performance, auditions, interviews, public speaking, resume building, interviews, gigs, job support, all the things to lift your dreams. We do a myriad of peer support groups throughout the week. You're more than welcome to RSVP. We used to do these over on Clubhouse. We're going to be moving platforms over to Google Meet because they seem to either have tools that are broken or they're seeking to suppress us. So hopefully Tara can still hear me. Okay, great. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in daily peer support. Also, Love in Action Network, in addition to Love City Arts Creative Services Group, is offering admin and support services to those of you who need a little extra help along your journey and need some assistance and project management as you build your dreams. It is a very robust program with lots of services available to you. Tap in if you need help and assistantship along your journey from a guy that looks like this and will continue to grow, named Flo. Any other programs you want to highlight before we move on to additional topics and close out?
No, I think that's everything. If you want to see the full calendar, we got watch parties, y'all. It's October, y'all. It's October. We do spooky season in October, and then it'll be holiday movies November through December. So, like, if you want to join us for a watch party, join us for a watch party. I have TPS Community Commons, which is the Blackening the Canon chat. Jesus, chat revamped.
Chia.
You can come on over to that if you so like. We have Blackening the Canon and Liberation Conversations, as well as some private voice coaching going on in there. Tomorrow is, Freedom Fridays. We already talked about this 6 weeks out masterclass, and that is like I said, tomorrow. And then I also have 15-minute one-to-one alignment checks and 30-minute alignment resets. You decide on the length, and it's free 99 because it's Freedom Fridays. All right, that's all from me. That's all from me.
I've had a blast stepping into my liberation theology, my liberation lifestyle, liberation in my relationships, liberation in my diet, liberation in my body temple. It has been a thrill over the last 4.5 years to co-create a life of freedom inside and outside with folks like Tara Olo Studio and beyond. I want to thank you all so much for supporting Love in Action Network and Love City Arts Creative Services Group and Academy, and just being present to your joy, which allows you to mirror that joy back to us. And just know that we are also not scared of the suffering of the world because we know that we have the tools in our hands to do what it takes in order to help heal it all. We really could heal it all today. We could heal it all today if we were to decide so. And so hopefully something that you witnessed, even if it was us going down for like 5 or 10 minutes in the middle of the taping and still being resilient. I was blaming the algorithm, but it really was me. The computer was not getting enough power. I have a very, both Tara and I have really powerful machines. And if the powerful machines do not have enough fuel and energy going into them to lift these very massive projects that we do, they will fail. And my computer said, girl, play with yourself. Do not play with me today. And so anyway, we stayed up. We had poopy diapers and poopy machines, and we have.
And it's not always the algorithm's fault, y'all. It's not always the algorithm's fault. Sometimes it's just our own noggins and ADHD. Okay.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, it is what it is, and you're going to survive it. You're going to survive it all. You have survived 100% of the days that led you to this moment. And all signs point to you continuing to survive all of your days and hopefully thrive on the other side of it all. Closing thoughts from you, Paolo.
My child's new favorite thing is gifting me things from my own house. So I have a post-it note commercial for you all. These are from Amazon, and they are Eastern Wolf, and I use them for my students to mark their piano books. And as you can hear, my child didn't mean to give them to mommy. But that's all. That's all.
Oh, wow. Thank you all for watching today and holding space for love daily as you do within the network. Go to lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link if you're interested in checking out our newly designed website that will point you into our events and let you know about our people and give you opportunities to plug in. We'll be working on the website and making it even better this afternoon and continuing to call people into this vibration of hope and love and abundance. I'm so grateful for your participation and co-creation of our magic. And without further ado, on behalf of our leadership team, Poppy Water 33, Terra Parlo Studio, and myself, Ask Dr. Flo on all platforms, we thank you for watching again. And y'all, stay in your power, stay in your joy, and stay loved and lovable.